out, everybody. We're going to be continuing our fabulous journey through Nancy Drew. Okay. We left off.
Still have to do that. Can't check that off yet.
Where did we leave off?
Check. Can't check that off yet.
Find Leo's office. Oh yeah, we had to go get a computer. But we gotta go. We gotta get a computer. That's right. That's right. Computer. Now open. I guess I can't actually. Okay, what? Cybersecurity. That's an interesting code. Alright, I guess we had to go talk to them. I know we're in some kind of old workshop. Okay. Interesting. Can I not go there? I guess not.
Dobry den.
Dobry den. I hope it's all right if we speak in English.
Yes, it is okay.
I see you are quite the artisan and collector. I found this iron key. Can you tell me what it's for?
It's one of the 7 keys of Prague.
The 7 keys of Prague?
Ah, if you don't know, I shouldn't tell you.
Now I have to know.
Let me see the key. You found it where?
In an old book in the Hungerkünstler Cafe.
The Czechs have many legends. The legend of the 7 keys is one every Czech child learns. Even you can learn about it at the marionette show in the square. When you come back, I will tell you what I learned from it. No charge.
Thank you. Do you have a small laptop for sale?
Only if it is at least 20 years old.
I don't think a laptop that old would be of much use.
Then I can't help you. You must talk to my granddaughter, Elka. Computers belong to her side of the shop.
What do you focus on?
Anything that needs fixing. From the time when craft mattered.
What kind of crafts?
Things that require skills handed down through generations. And a few trinkets.
Does Elka run the shop?
She would like to think so. I tell her to go study, but she does not listen. She works too hard like her mother.
Does her mother work here too?
Her mother passed some time ago.
I'm sorry.
We do all right.
I should get going.
Yeah, come back sometime.
Okay.
What can I do for you?
That obvious I speak English?
I guessed right. I also guess you need some tech.
I do.
You either wanted that, my school notes, or a puppet, so... I am Elka. What can I get you?
I'm Nancy Drew. It's nice to meet you, Elka. Do you have a small laptop? Something with lots of storage
stickers
space. Nothing fancy.
Are from
Yes, of course. I
older
have one secondhand that I wiped clean myself.
Nancy Drew games.
That sounds perfect.
Almost
It's
perfect.
kind of a little
It is
Easter egg
missing a
there.
charger, but you should be able to find one at an internet cafe.
I know a place.
Good.
You can't mention a puppet and not explain why.
My grandfather. He works on the collectibles side of Apparat. He fixes, among other gadgets and junk, puppets and marionettes.
Junk? You must not care for his work much.
Oh, I love him, of course. But don't tell him I called his work junk. And especially don't tell Radek.
Who is Radek?
Ah, you have not been to the Marionette Theater. Radek is a boy with floppy hair and a cute smile. He puts on puppet shows for kids and tourists.
A cute smile?
You will not tell him I said so.
Of course not.
My grandfather fixes his marionettes whenever they fall apart, which is often. I never know what to say to him.
Hello is a start.
Radek always seems so preoccupied. Who knew puppetry was so stressful?
So, you're still in school. What are you studying?
Yes, I'm studying computer science with a focus on cybersecurity.
Impressive. Why cybersecurity?
No matter how tech literate you are, you can never be too careful on the internet these days.
Sounds like you have a reason to be cautious. Have you had any cybersecurity issues yourself?
Some believe that local hackers have been harassing government sites, but I am not the government, so I don't care.
Who do you think the hackers are?
Students, perhaps.
Thank you for the laptop.
Feel free to return here if you have any troubles with it. And do let me know if you see Radek's show.
Thank you. I will. See you.
Okay.
Je top připravené?
Not ready yet, Radek.
Still no word on Papa 12?
I was just leaving.
Oh, are you a tourist?
I suppose I am.
Then please come to my marionette show this afternoon. I'm sorry, I should introduce myself. I'm Radek Napovin,
Ah, I'm Nancy Drew.
and I'm a master puppeteer. Normally, I work hard to keep the old traditions alive. When you come, you will see Prague's history come to life. I promise.
Sounds interesting. I look forward to being there.
And I will see you at the theater.
I guess. Okay.
Can't check that off yet.
Oh, yeah.
Can't check that off yet.
Okay, so we need to see the theater. This.
Oh, you came! Except, I'm sorry, I may not have a show for you or the fans. My assistant couldn't come today. The puppets don't operate themselves.
Well, that would be disappointing. Is there something I can help with?
Oh no.
Yeah, There's a lot to do. The stage has to be set up. The marionettes need their costumes. No, I couldn't ask you, but, well, will you?
How much time do we have? We'd better get started.
I mean, what? Wait, you're serious? That's great! The show must go on.
Oh goodness. What? What do I do? Uh-oh. What do I do? How do I know what goes where now? Oh goodness. Okay. Good day to all of you. I am King Maria Teresa. Guess I am a king. Have you seen my beautiful crown? Greeted one. Okay. Oh goodness. This. Okay. Maybe this is alright. Let's say 3 of 4. What? Okay.
I've nearly got it, but something is still off. I've nearly got it, but something is still off.
I'm so confused. That's not what I wanted. How do I do this? Any more information? This. 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 Maybe.
Even with Radek's notes, his show is not easy. Even with Radek's notes, his show is not easy. Even with Radek's notes, his show is not easy. I've nearly got it, but something is still off. This doesn't feel quite right. This doesn't feel quite right. I've nearly got it, but something is still off. I've nearly got it, but something is still off. Even with Radek's notes, his show is not easy.
Well, now I'm stuck. I can't get out. Oh no.
I don't think Radek would appreciate this. Well, that's fresh.
It's still yellow.
I don't think Radek would appreciate
That one's
this.
red.
I don't think Radek would appreciate this.
Okay.
Well, that's fresh. Interesting interpretation. Well,
Well, we're
that's
just gonna
fresh.
have all of them.
Interesting interpretation. I don't think Radek would appreciate this. Well, that's fresh.
Oh gosh. Is it Charles?
Well, that's fresh. I don't think Radek would appreciate this. I don't think Radek would appreciate this. Interesting interpretation. Even with Radek's notes, his show is not easy. Even with Radek's notes, his show is not easy. I've nearly got it, but something is still off. Even with Radek's notes, his show is not easy. I've nearly got it, but something is still off. This doesn't feel quite right. I've nearly got it, but something is still off. This doesn't feel quite right. I've nearly got it, but
Oh.
something is still off. Well, that's fresh. Interesting interpretation. Well, that's fresh. Even with Radek's notes, his show is not easy. I don't think Radek would appreciate this. I've nearly got it, but something is still off. I've nearly got it,
Okay.
but something is still off.
Okay.
I've nearly got it, but something is still off. This doesn't feel quite right. I've nearly got it, but something is still off.
Okay. Okay. See, now we're getting somewhere.
I've nearly got it, but something is still off. Even with Radek's notes, his show is not easy. This doesn't feel quite right. This doesn't feel quite right. I've nearly got it, but something is still off. Great, let's do it.
Okay. The king enters and takes the crown. Okay. She. Okay. Blank. Don't forget the bridge. And talks about the crown.
This doesn't feel quite right.
Okay. She what?
This doesn't feel quite right. I've nearly got it, but something is still off. I've nearly got it, but something is still off.
Okay.
Even with Radek's notes, his show is not easy. Even with Radek's notes, his show is not easy.
Okay, let's just...
I've nearly got it, but something is still off. Even with Radek's notes, his show is not easy. Even with Radek's notes,
Okay.
his show is not easy.
Okay.
Even with Radek's notes, his show is not easy. Great, let's
Perfect.
do it.
Okay. Oh, we have a long way to go. Oh, goodness. Okay. Servant, read from the scrolls.
Even with Radek's notes, his show is not easy. I've nearly got it, but something is still off. This doesn't feel quite right. I've nearly got it, but something is still off. Even with Radek's notes, his show is not easy. This doesn't feel quite right. This doesn't feel quite right. I've nearly got it, but something is still off. I've nearly got it, but something is still off. I've nearly got it, but something is still off. I've nearly got it, but something is still off. I've nearly got it, but something is still off. Interesting interpretation. I've nearly got it, but something is still off. Well, that's fresh. I don't think Radek would appreciate this. Well, that's fresh. This doesn't feel quite right. Even with Radek's notes, his show is not easy. All right, let's go.
Oh, goodness. Well, boast about his achievements.
Interesting interpretation. This doesn't feel quite right. Interesting interpretation. I've nearly got it, but something is still off. Even with Radek's notes, his show is not easy. I've nearly got it, but something is still off. Even with Radek's notes, his show is not easy. Well, that's fresh. I've nearly got it, but something is still off. Even with Radek's notes, his show is not easy. Even with Radek's notes, his show is not easy. Even with Radek's notes, his show is not easy. This doesn't feel quite right. I've nearly got it, but something is still off. Even with Radek's notes, his show is not easy. I've nearly got it, but something is still off. I've nearly got it, but something is still off. I've nearly got it, but something is still off. Interesting interpretation. I've nearly got it, but something is still off. This doesn't feel quite right. Even with Radek's notes, his show is not easy. Even with Radek's notes, his show is not easy. I've nearly got it, but something is still off. This doesn't feel quite right. This doesn't feel quite right. This doesn't feel quite right. Even with Radek's notes, his show is not easy. I've nearly got it, but something is still off. Even with Radek's notes, his show is not easy. This doesn't feel quite right. I've nearly got it, but something is still off. I don't think Radek would appreciate this. I've nearly got it, but something
so does the
still
crown.
off. I don't think Radek would appreciate this. Interesting interpretation. Well, that's fresh. Interesting interpretation. Well, that's fresh. I've nearly got it, but something is still off. Now, this scene doesn't go something like this. It goes exactly like this.
We've only had 5 episodes. Okay.
I don't think Radek would appreciate this. I don't think Radek would appreciate this. Well, that's fresh. This doesn't feel quite right. Even with Radek's notes, his show is not easy. This doesn't feel quite right. This doesn't feel quite right. Even with Radek's notes, his show is not easy. Even with Radek's notes, his show is not easy. I've nearly got it, but something is still off. I've nearly got it, but something is still off. Well, that's fresh. Interesting interpretation. Interesting interpretation. I don't think Radek would appreciate this. This doesn't feel quite right. Even with Radek's notes, his show is not easy. This doesn't feel quite right. Interesting interpretation. I don't think Radek would appreciate this. This doesn't feel quite right. I don't think Radek would appreciate this. This doesn't feel quite right. I don't think Radek would appreciate this. I've nearly got it, but something is still off. I've nearly got it, but something is still off. I've nearly got it, but something is still off. Even with Radek's notes, his show is not easy. All right, let's go. Even with Radek's notes, his show is not easy. Even with Radek's notes, his show is... I don't think Radek would appreciate this. Well, that's fresh. I've nearly got it, but something is still off. Doesn't feel quite right. Even with Radek's notes, his show is not easy. Even with Radek's notes, his show... Well, that's fresh. Doesn't feel quite right. Interesting interpretation. Interesting interpretation. I don't think Radek would appreciate this. Even with Radek's notes, his show is not easy. Even with Radek's notes, his show is not easy. I've I've nearly got it, but something is still off. This doesn't feel quite right. I've nearly got it, but something is still off. Well, that's fresh. Interesting interpretation. Interesting interpretation. I don't think Radek would appreciate this. Well, that's fresh. This doesn't feel quite right. Even with Radek's notes, his show is not easy. This doesn't feel quite right. I don't think Radek would... Even with Radek's notes, his show is not easy. Great. Let's do it. I've nearly got it, but something is still off. Well, that's fresh. Well, that's fresh. Interesting interpretation. I don't think Radek would appreciate this. This doesn't feel quite right. Even with Radek's notes, great, we did it. This would be fun to do again.
Oh no. No, wait. Oh my goodness.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls from all around the world.
Ooh.
You will see the magic of the theater and relive the time when the world stage was
Oh
made
my
for the marionettes.
goodness.
See one of the oldest art forms come to life. Gather round and experience the wonder and mystery of kings, keys, and the secrets of the Royal Bohemian Crown Jewels.
Good day to all of you. I am King Maria Theresa. Yes, I'm a king. Have you seen my beautiful crown?
Yes, it must be known that this royal is the only woman to hold the position in her own right.
You see, even in the decree, it wasn't easy to be recognized and crowned a ruler as a woman.
And yet, you were crowned and wore this special coronation crown thanks to His Highness, the Holy Roman Emperor, King of Bohemia, Charles IV. Stop! That is my crown.
The king who led the building of the St. Vitus Cathedral?
Yes.
The king who built the Charles Bridge?
The same. And I commissioned that crown. It has become the symbol of the people, and it has been decreed that only the true king could wear it and hold the crown jewels. Oh, you did so much more. Well, you could go on and on. I'm flattered. But yes, you see, that crown truly belongs to me.
Not anymore. Now it belongs to...
Me! Hello! I, King Rudolph II, do in fact deserve the crown.
You deserve the crown? Why?
Well, I brought Prague into the Renaissance. We learned to read the stars, and I made Prague the center of discovery, with alchemy labs throughout the castle and... excuse me, O King, but I do see here that you did spend a good deal of time and money on those mysterious, mystical experiments. Yes, there is that. But I put Prague on the map.
That's nice, but how did all that help the people?
Help the people?
Does that sound like someone who deserves the crown?
Wait, no, my crown! The story goes that rulers and wars would come and go, and the crown jewels were scattered to many different places.
Until the Czech estates demanded that the king bring the crown jewels back to Prague.
Exactly right. They belong to the people.
Who are you?
I am your son, King Leopold II. I brought the crown jewels home. Then, I commissioned a case to keep them safe. My royal keymaker created 7 very special keys. At your service, with 7 keys to lock it up. And I gave those keys to 7 specially appointed people who could only unlock the case together.
You were right. The crown doesn't belong to anyone but the Czech people.
Here, your grace, the keys. And the crown jewels have been safe in Prague ever since. Thank you for coming to our show. And thank you to my assistant, Nancy Drew.
Oh my goodness, that took
You saved the day.
forever.
No, seriously, thank you. Thank you so much for your help. I don't know what I would have done without you.
Happy to help.
I hope you like the show. You, sort of seem like you might have some questions about the legends and hidden mysteries of Prague. Well, I'd be happy to answer them.
How did you know? Is the story a legend?
Okay, so what's awesome is that many of the tales that I base my marionette shows on are actual famous legends. And in this story, the legend is a true one. See, old King Leopold did bring the crown jewels back to Prague to be kept in the castle. But they're not there anymore.
Where are they?
I took them.
You would be quite a thief if you managed that.
And if I were a thief, I would be quite a thief. But for now, the crown jewels are safe inside St. Vitus Cathedral, forever protected under vault and 7 keys.
It seems like you care a lot about the puppets. Why do you put on shows every day?
Actually, marionettes. Do you know the difference? No, you're good. If you do. It's just that I work with marionettes for fame and fortune, of course.
Seriously.
I am serious. I would have to be. You just experienced what skill is needed to keep things untangled.
I did. It's a lot harder than it looks. Why do it?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, really, if I don't, who will? Look around you. We sell our heritage and people know so little of the real history. For centuries, marionette shows have kept our Czech language and culture alive. And okay, this may sound nuts, but I think if people know, they'll care.
It's really admirable of you to work so hard to keep your family and your country's traditions alive.
Oh, thank you. I really enjoy talking to people like you who show genuine interest. You know, and the children. They at least are entertaining.
That they are. Your accent sounds very American. Have you spent time there?
No, I've learned many languages during my acting career. But it is amazing what you can pick up from playing games and watching television in other languages.
Who holds the 7 keys now?
Nowadays, only the most important people. The president, the lord mayor, the dean of St. Vitus, and so on. You get the picture. The guards no longer hold the keys. No movie stars, football players, or puppeteers, sadly.
What happens when they want to open the vault?
All of the key holders must come together. So they say.
So no one could steal each key and open the vault?
Do you think it would be that easy?
It could be. That's what worries me.
Oh no, they've been safe for hundreds of years.
I learned a lot.
There's always more to learn if you want to come by again tomorrow. If my assistant doesn't show up again, maybe you'd be interested in some extra work while we're in town? Never mind, just... Well, thanks.
If I have time, I will. Thanks. Elka recommended your show to me. I'll have to let her know I enjoyed it.
Thanks? She's like a kid sister to me.
Oh, good to know.
Okay. Now that it's nighttime. Okay. New people. Can we check anything off? Yeah, we did that.
Still have to do that. I'm not can't check that off yet. I'm not still have to do that.
Ooh, the haunted tours. Where's that at? I want to do that. Can I still do that? It's nighttime. What is this? Whoa! Hey!
Enter the darkness. You have nothing to fear. If it is a ghost you see, somebody will.
What? It's the same. Can I go upstairs now? Jeez, man.
I should check the tour sign again.
I'm gonna check the tour. The tour sign. No, I don't want to go out.
Begin the tour if you dare. Follow the numbers, beginning with 1. Or beware.
1. What? Okay, there's 5. Over there. 1. How do I get over there? Oh, hey. Hello. Right here? 1. Ah!
From City of
Spiders.
Kings, City of Ghosts. Beware the night, for you may encounter 12 headless ghosts crossing the Charles Bridge. Executed at Old Town Square, they seek their missing heads, left hanging iron baskets from Old Town Bridge. The Mad Barber is dying to give you a new look to impress the Emperor. Sadly, his local shop failed when he traded his barber's blade for a beacon. You see, the Mad Barber believed that after mixing and cutting all day, he could use alchemy to gain his fortune by turning metal into gold.
He died with nothing to his name. Lore says that he continues to roam the streets with his blade. Move quickly. He may want more than just your head. Or you may fall victim to Panic, the daughter of the lords of the House of Rosenberg, who once lived in this very palace complex. They established their own castles until Emperor Rudolph II purchased the Rosenberg houses. One Rosenberg daughter got her own castle when she was married off to a nobleman, who turned out to be not so noble. The death of her evil husband was both a blessing and a curse. When Perkta refused his request for forgiveness, he cursed her, but it was she who got the last laugh. To this day, the tales speak of the spirit of Perkta dwelling in this ancient castle as the Lady in White. But should she don black, the color of night, it is her spirit who seeks out the one who is sure to die. Look closely, quickly now. What does Perkta wear? Linger longer if you dare. Are you certain you won't be the one her spirit seeks? You have chosen wisely to retreat behind closed doors to avoid such dangers. Or have you? Venture further, if you dare. The Dalibor Knight. The wearer of this armor joined the People's Uprising in Koskovitska in the 15th century. His reward? A death sentence. But he was not alone while he awaited his fate in the Tower of Prague Castle. See his companion. This violin kept the Dalibor Knight company through all his troubles. All heard his playing until the day of his death. And beyond. Some say when moonlight falls on the knight's armor, a secret will be revealed. Those who dwell too long in this room may face a mournful wrath of the knight himself. Linger at your own risk.
I should check the tour sign again.
I don't know what to do now.
I should check the tour sign again.
What?
That's done.
Is that it? So seriously it.
Nancy.
Oh, that's a lot. Is that seriously all of them? Hey, it's open. Get lost, but hey, it's
The
open.
dean is not available.
Why are you here?
I am the assistant to the dean. My career isn't quite as stagnant as some.
Onsem notsem nuit.
Really? First I've heard of it.
I'm the director of the gym's exhibit. We have important matters to discuss.
Oh, and he would be happy to meet with you, Mr. Dvorak, once he returns from his trip.
That is not soon enough.
His schedule is very tight, but I will see what I can do to fit you in before he leaves. And I do look forward to speaking to you then.
Just stay out of my way. You will regret delaying our meeting.
What's this? Where the heck did I just go? Hey, hey. Come back for that in a second. It goes outside? There's a card though.
Still have to do that. Can't check that out yet.
Okay. That's where we're going to end it. Go ahead and save. Alright, everybody. That's where we're going to end it. And I will catch y'all next time. Bye.